I wasn't expecting to do another demo video so soon, but Sony had to shadow drop the demo for MediEvil during their recent state of play. If you know me really well, you know I love MediEvil. I even showed up in Blonde Guy Gamer's video covering MediEvil 2, link in the description. This demo is called the Short-Lived Demo, so named because it's only available until October 6th at 11:59 PM Pacific Time. I can't help but think Sony's store page sends mixed messages with this. Even though the demo's only the first two stages, the first two screenshots are not from those levels. As for the demo itself, it's largely beat for beat how the original goes, though there are a couple differences. For one, the narrator at the beginning changed.
Sir Daniel Fortescue led the militia in the battle against this unholy horde.
This is the same voice which reads all the books, which weren't voiced at all in the original.
You will find life bottles throughout Gallowmere.
The intro even follows the same animation storyboarding as the original, though Zarek's a little more vocal in a Homer Simpson seeing a donut kind of way. And is it just me, or does the waterfall part after he walks through it? It's apparent they're animating characters a lot more in the remake, though not necessarily the ground they walk on. That is, if Zarek's casting motions and floating staff are any indication. It is kinda weird though to see a guy with no eyelids blinking. One thing I wasn't expecting, other than the particular language choices, was a colorblindness option, for multiple forms and varying intensities of colorblindness no less. Thanks guys! I rarely see this outside of color-matching puzzle games and, like, Overwatch.
It has risen again! Sir Daniel Fortescue, see?
Not only is it the same voice as before, as in the same clips from the original, they gave more than mouth movement to the gargoyle heads, allowing them to be even more sarcastic and snarky toward Dan. And Dan's somewhat comprehensible. I'll take this any day over that awful MediEvil 2 voice. Differences between level layouts are pretty minor. Dan's crypt, for example, has the throwing daggers and sword in different places. What's also different is being able to walk back through the gates to Dan's resting place. And it's here you find something not just specific to the remake, but to this demo. There's a helmet you can find which carries over to the main game. Probably just cosmetic, but it's something. The pathing on the world map is a bit different, but what threw me off was not being able to use the D-pad. You can use this in the game, but double tapping to run with it requires compensating for a weird delay. The analog stick is much easier to use as you can run without double tapping or clicking in a stick or anything like that. Combat feels okay. Swiping with the sword, tossing daggers, charge attacks, though at times it seems like my sword is shorter than it looks. At least Dan still swings it around like a 4-year-old t-ball player. There's also a quick way to swap between two weapons with triangle, which leads me to wonder if blocking and the daring dash will be mapped to the same button, since it used to be triangle while running. Platforming is still a bit of a mystery because the early stages don't ask you to do more than hop up a hill or two, and this demo is only 2 levels long. Yeah, if you really wanted, you could finish the demo in about 3 minutes. Probably faster. I was hoping this would be like the MediEvil demo disc, which had a few levels on it that ran on a timer and you could see more of the game by completing each stage faster, but no such luck. The camera is able to swivel around everywhere except outside of scripted areas, but on top of that, holding down a trigger switches to an over-the-shoulder view. This is more for close encounters and precision pathing since you can't run in this view. It also leads to the one major issue I had, which comes up near the end of the graveyard level. I know Dan doesn't like water, but in the demo, if you stop moving in it, he'll act like he's dangling at the edge of a cliff. It's even worse if you use the over-the-shoulder view because then he can barely move. I'm hoping this gets patched before launch, otherwise it could cause some massive headaches for particular portions of the game. For something that took up as much storage space as it did, the MediEvil demo didn't really show much. I'm still interested either way, but I can't see this doing much to sway people who are on the fence about it. At least it was better than the Rogue Core demo. Speaking of, how's that game doing? Blam! Oh,